So there was another Substack that you wrote, the evolution and the differences, since we're kind of in this area, evolution and the differences
Women,
between men and women, and
Yep.
two particular ideas that you put forth that I'd love you to get into and talk about, because this is, I think, something that is lost when we, because I was grown up being told that men and women were the same, right? Like they're equal, women can do everything men can do, and besides make babies, men can do everything women can do. They're even confusing that these days. But and I think I don't think that that's true, at least to a degree of points of emphasis. One second. The male's consciousness is shaped by women, and a women's consciousness is shaped by babies. Please.
Yes. Let me say one more thing about your comment that men and women are not equal. I would say you can have a woman, an individual woman, who will be very close to stereotypical behavior of a man, and you can have a woman who have so every individual should have the maximum, the ultimate freedom to act as he pleases, right? In a sense, which is, but without so they are constrained by society, obviously. But I don't say that a woman shouldn't be a CEO or whatever. So if she has that temperament we talked about, she should go for a CEO. That is the luxury of free society. But if you have a statistical analysis, women and men will differ in a lot of things, and that goes back to something you just referred. I wrote, which is, let's start with the women. Women's consciousness is shaped by babies. I really do believe, or there is this theory in biology which is called reproductive costs. So how much do you have to spend in terms of nurturing, carrying, bringing food, whatever, in biology, and that correlates a lot with the vulnerability of the infants, let's say. So if the infant is vulnerable, let's say, a human for almost 20 years, you need to spend as a parent a lot of time and nurture and whatever. And for female, the first 2 years or even 3 years, which are very crucial, a mother has to give like everything. She doesn't even exist by herself. Like really, her brain has to extend onto another body. So I think over a long time span, that shapes basically the psyche of the woman.
Mm-hmm.
Now the great but, now you could say, yeah, the women, again, we have to carry whatever. Yeah, but the woman, because she has such high costs, has an evolutionary, a trick by evolution, because she becomes the selective species.
Yeah.
Because always in biology, the species that has the highest costs also selects the other sex, let's say. So she has the capability to pick up on certain traits, and therefore she shapes the man.
And this is, females are the most important drivers of eugenics there are out there. They are the ones choosing the development of the species.
Yes, I mean there are,
or the development of their family line. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. But the hierarchy of man, it is context dependent, and that is something hard to understand. But let's imagine you are in a desert, and you have a tribe in the desert. Your hierarchy of men will form under very different conditions if you are next to a river and there are fruits everywhere. Because survival conditions are completely different, and therefore tribes in desert will probably, that is a speculation, I haven't read anything, but I would assume they would be more competitive, something like that. We could make an argument about religious and Islam and whatever now, but we don't have to go there. but yeah, women shape this hierarchy. Definitely, they pick the males from the top because they want obviously somebody to survive, right? Their babies to survive.
Mm-hmm. And how are the male's consciousness shaped by women then?
I mean, if a woman is women look for markers that would improve the probability of them and their babies to survive.
Mm-hmm.
In men. And the best markers are, because I introduced already the hierarchy, is a high status position.
Yeah.
Because what a man, the best thing for any social animal is to have social support.
Yes.
That is the meta trait. Let's say you don't want money, you don't want necessarily fame. You want to have a good social network, a good social support, and support puts you there. And in terms of crisis, that means you have a higher probability to survive and to bring food home and whatever, right?
So they don't necessarily
women look
want
for these males.
So they don't necessarily want the biggest, baddest motherfucker out there. They want the guy who has a bunch of big, bad motherfuckers who are on their teams, and a bunch of guys who have more guys on their teams.
Exactly. And now imagine, who is that? Is that a bully? Or
right.
Is that somebody who helps others?
Yes. Oh, it's obviously the person who looks after, who creates a network where they're looking after each other's interests.
Exactly. And that is the hero spirit every male should integrate into his life.
Oh, that's fascinating.
In a very different manner. Your hero is different than mine. I tell you, my hero is it's a very crazy guy. It has probably archetypes of Steve Jobs, Jordan Peterson, Michael Jordan. That are the top 3 heroes. And your top 3 heroes might be completely different people, right?
But it is very interesting.
An amalgam.
The hero's journey is almost always you're going to fight a dragon for the benefit of the community.
Yep.
Right. It's not
my second name, Jeff, is George. And Saint George in the Dragons is the oldest myth we know. So I like that.